Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for telling my SIL the truth about my brother and my husband. Me and my husband, Matt, a 32-year-old guy, and my older brother, Tony, live in the same house in which I grew up, 32 male. Anna is the name of Tony's wife, 33 female. Tony and I both went to boarding school when we were younger. He went to an all-boys school on the opposite side of the country, but I went to an all-girls school in the same city. Because of the distance between us as children, we weren't very close, and I didn't know much about his life. Tony met my future husband Matt when they were both attending boarding school, and the two became fast friends. Tony was experiencing depression as a result of his orientation at the time, and Matt assisted him in getting out of it. To cut a long story short, they met, fell in love, and started dating one another. After graduating from high school, they ended up breaking up and losing touch. I was completely unaware of any of this at the time. I ended up going to the same university as Matt, which is how we met in the first place. The fact that my brother wasn't a large part of my life at the time, plus the fact that Tony and I had different surnames, meant that we didn't realize what was going on until a year later when we all got together for a family gathering. True, it was tough for everyone involved at first, but we all got through it, and Tony and Matt were reunited as best friends. Matt and I were married 3 years ago this month. When I first met Tony's girlfriend Anna, I inquired of Tony whether or not he had told her about his relationship with Matt. Tony said that he had not. Tony said that they were still in the early stages of their relationship, and that he would notify her if things progressed to a more serious level. Tony and Anna are now engaged to be married. Tony and Matt are so close that they often go on boys' outings when they are just the two of them, without anybody else. Earlier this week, they went on one of these trips, and everything seemed to be going okay until Anna phoned and asked if I knew where Tony was. Apparently, he had informed her that he was going to see our parents, but when she called, he wasn't there to answer the phone. Informed her that he would be going on vacation with Matt. As she began to get irritated, she inquired as to whether or not something was happening between them. Since Matt and Tony's relationship ended in high school, I assured her that she didn't need to be concerned, assuming she already knew since she and Tony are now married. That's when I realized Tony hadn't told her anything before. When Tony arrived, he was upset because Anna was threatening divorce, and I was tearing up his family, since I had notified her without first asking him about the situation. The fact is that Tony withheld the information from Anna because he was afraid she would deny him access to Matt, and now Anna wants him to completely exclude me and Matt from her life. Matt is also enraged because he can't see Tony and is losing his best friend for the second time in a short period of time. All because of something I said. My brother wants to cut me out of his life, his wife wants a divorce, and my husband is dissatisfied with their relationship. I'm flooded with guilt and can't shake the feeling that I've made a mistake. AITA. Edit. I appreciate everyone's feedback. Some of these are difficult to read, but I guess this is a long overdue wake-up call. It may be strange to imagine that someone my age can be so dumb and stupid, but being reasonable has always been a problem for me. I wish it were a hoax. I'm understanding that this is probably a lot worse than I anticipated. I won't be able to answer to individual comments for a while, but I'm reading them all and will publish an update when I'm able. Edit 2. I've had a lot of questions about why I didn't mention the travels sooner, what I believed they were doing, so I'll simply explain them here for the purpose of convenience. For the last several years, my brother has been suffering from severe depression. As a result, he doesn't go out much and doesn't have many friends. Tony would only open up to my husband, since he helped him through depression when they were youngsters. One of the few things that make my brother happy is going on adventures with Matt. Matt had always told me that they did normal things like play video games, watch movies, and go bicycling, so I didn't give it any thought. Despite the fact that Matt was Tony's ex, I got the impression that Matt was assisting a buddy in need. I realize now how naive I was to believe it, but that was my mental process. Edit 3. Please don't use this article to justify homophobia or biphobia. Whatever happened to my brother and hubby is not representative of gay/bi people in general. Edit 4. Last edit. Wow, I took a break and there are a ton of comments. I won't be able to react individually since I have a lot going on right now, obviously, but I will continue to read. I have a couple of brief updates before I sign out. Matt decided to tell me everything after I gave him some time and space to think about it all. As much as I, and I'm sure you all want answers right now. That's what I'll be doing. There has been no communication from either my brother or my sister-in-law. I'm going to put it aside for the day and attempt to concentrate on something that doesn't frighten me. When things make more sense, I'll return with a separate update article. Thank you very much. I've also watched Brokeback Mountain. It's obviously a lot more enjoyable on film than it is in real life. Update. After giving my husband some breathing room, I inquired about his adventures with my brother with no response. He made a commitment to me that he would give me the whole truth about their relationship. As some of you speculated, Matt was well aware that I was Tony's sister when we first met and started dating me in order to re-establish his friendship with Tony after our initial meeting. It was revealed that he had genuinely fallen in love with me during the first year of our relationship, before rejoining with Tony that he had revealed. We were together when Tony noticed us and immediately informed Matt that he still loved him, which left him sad when Matt answered that he didn't. They were able to reconcile and re-establish their relationship in the end. During the time period around Matt's marriage to me, Tony fell into a deep depression. It was at that point that the adventures started. In his conversation with me, Matt said that he had initially intended to support Tony as a friend, but that Tony had broken down on one of the trips and disclosed that he had never stopped loving Matt, and that he had been lying to his wife about the visits because he felt awful about it, also why he never told her about their history. He begged with Matt to keep this information a secret in order to protect their relationship. Matt agreed. According to Matt, there was never any physical contact between the two of them. The reason Anna was suspicious of something was eventually disclosed when I asked Matt about it. They were having an emotional affair, he admitted, because Anna had overheard a phone call between Tony and Matt a few months previously. She became suspicious. As a result, she went through Tony's phone and interrogated him about various things she discovered. No concrete proof, but enough to make her upset. Despite the fact that she told Tony that she did not want him to hang out with Matt anymore, he continued to do so until I unwittingly tipped him up to her intentions. In light of the fact that both my brother and sister-in-law have cut relations, I am left with no one to corroborate my husband's story. I'm not sure how much of it I believe at this point. If this is true, I'm baffled as to why Anna never shared any information with me. The whole situation seems to be too absurd to be real, but it's all I've got for the time being. Matt has apologized several times and shown a willingness to work through this, which is something I can't even think about at the moment. The last several weeks have been very difficult. Matt has departed from the residence, despite the fact that we both agreed that we needed some time apart before making any decisions about our marriage. I do not believe that we will be able to recover from this. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to put my faith in anybody else again. Furthermore, I only have myself to blame for being so stupid and failing to see the obvious warning signs earlier on. And, first and foremost, for marrying my brother's ex-girlfriend. I'm overwhelmed with regret more than anything else right now. Although this was not the conclusion I had hoped for, I am relieved to have received some answers. To be quite honest, I'm not sure I would have had the courage to confront this issue head-on if it hadn't been for my essay on this site. So despite everything, maybe we can all agree that this is a nice conclusion. Thank you so much to everyone for their kind words and support. Edit. The outpouring of love and support from this sub has moved me to tears. Thank you very much for your kind words, accolades, and notes. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I won't be able to react to all of the comments, but please know that you have my thanks.